My name is Ty Berry. I'm unemployed due to the recession. I have 2 teenage sons. They offered me COBRA benefits for 3 months at $1,200 a month. And then I'm out on my own. And there is no way that I'm going to get health care coverage because I had a back operation. It's going to cost me thousands and thousands of dollars. And then my children, who will soon be 18 years of age in 2-3 years, will not be able to afford health care. It's a crime. It's a crime. We know what the answer is. Everyone in Congress knows what the answer is. We never once talked about single payer. We know what the answer is. We were conned into a war, and now we're conned into this bill that's going to come out of Congress. We need to take back our country as these people that were exploiting the town hall meetings. But we really need to take back our country right now and get single payer like 35 other developed nations around the world have. As Representative Grayson was saying, 44,000 people will die this year because of lack of health care. And I don't want it to be me or my sons. So thank you very much. I'm Ty Berry from Code Pink.
We are the majority! We are the majority!
T-A-R-R-Y.
Yeah. Say your first name.
Ty.
T-I.
My name is Joe Libertelli. I live in Maryland. I actually have a job. I'm taking a vacation day today, and I thought maybe tomorrow, but maybe not. I have a good job. I have health care, and there's nobody in my family who lacks health care, fortunately. But unlike many people in this country, I can't stand idly by and watch this kind of thing happen to Devin's family and the families of so many millions of Americans around this country. And so those of you who don't want to be considered part of the, as Congressman Grayson put it, the selfish party, he was calling the Republican Party the selfish party, and he's got a good point. But there are lots of Democrats apparently who really belong to the selfish party. So leave that party and start thinking about your neighbors and your community and your country. Join us. Take some action. Democracy is not
to my president. President Obama. This is Linda from Annapolis. You know who I am. I remember the time when I never heard the name Barack Obama. It wasn't that long ago. I remember that he told me he promised health care reform. I believed him. And I worked very hard to get him elected. And yet, a few weeks ago, when asked about single payer, he said, if I was starting from scratch, single payer would be the way to go. Well, guess what?
Still is.
He can start from scratch because he's already done it. So do it again. Let's get this right. We put you there. We can take you out. You owe something to us that supported you. And you know what to do. So please, Mr. President, do what you promised. And also, one more thing. We understand that this is a capitalistic society. However, that doesn't mean you can't temper it with a little compassion for others that live here too. So make your million, but throw a little our way, will ya?
That's right.
Yeah! Who else? Next.
My name is David Barrows, but I just want to ask the American people a question. So many of you say, I can't trust the government. Well, let me ask you something. Can you really trust corporations that we have bailed out with billions of dollars, and then they go and give themselves huge bonuses of millions of dollars? Do you trust these insurance companies whose CEOs get millions of dollars in benefits while they deny you legitimate claims? Wake up! Medicare works. Why can't you accept the fact that government can do good things also, besides making illegal wars. They are capable of good things if you insist on it.
That's right. Go, David. That's good, David.
All right.
Excellent, David. Excellent.
All right.
My name is Medea Benjamin. I'm with Code Pink, and I just came back last week from Afghanistan. We visited a hospital there, and when we asked how much do you charge the patients for a visit, they said nothing. And we said, why? And they said, because we have to show that we're giving something back to the people in order for them to think that this government is a legitimate one. Wow. Well, I turn that right back on Barack Obama in Congress. We pay a lot of taxes. You have to give something back to the people for us to think that this is a legitimate government.
Yeah! End fascism now!
We voted for a government for, of, and by the people, not a government of, for, and by the corporations.
Yeah!
We thought Barack Obama was in favor of single payer. Didn't he lead us to believe that during the campaign?
Yes, he did.
So why was that off the table? Why can you get free health care in Afghanistan? And even Iraq, a country we tore apart, actually had a great health care system before we invaded it, with free health care for all. So if countries around the world, including all of Europe, including all the industrialized nations that call themselves capitalist countries, but know there are very basic human rights that must be provided for the people as a safety net in order to call their governments democratic governments, then why don't we have this in what is supposed to be the biggest, greatest democracy of all nations? So I say to Barack Obama, if you want us to believe in your government, if you want us to think that you are a legitimate leader that is worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize, then give the basic human right to your own people, which is health care for all.
Okay, folks, I want to close this. First off, I want to thank the police for not arresting anybody. Yeah. We appreciate that you handled this in a civil way, allowed us to get our message out. And what that means is that on October 28th, when we have the next round of demonstrations, nobody's going to be in court, no one's going to be facing trial, no one's going to be on probation. And so we can all come back again.
Let's have a round of applause for the police.
Let's have a round of applause, please. That's a good idea. Thank you all very much. We're all part of the same country. Now, since Medea brought up Afghanistan and Iraq, let me just point out one thing about Iraq. You know, we wrote a constitution for Iraq, and in that constitution it guarantees health care for all provided by the government. So even Iraq allows health care for all provided by the government, and we wrote their constitution. George Bush wrote that constitution. So Bush is even more progressive than Obama on this issue. Obama is giving away hundreds of billions of dollars a year to the insurance industry in this mockery of a health care bill, and he's not providing health care for all. He's not achieving any of the goal. Not health care for all, not controlling costs. So we're going to keep coming back. As I said when I opened this up, this demonstration is part of a national mobilization that is ongoing. It's not going to stop no matter what Congress does. The single-payer movement is the right answer. We know it's the right answer. It's the inevitable answer. That's right. It's the only way we can solve this problem. Yeah. One thing that Congress has proved in this legislative session working on health care is that a multi-payer system with private insurance tied to employment cannot provide health care to all. Right. That's the one thing they proved. And so we're going to keep coming back. I want to thank you all today for sitting down in this rainy weather. I want to thank you all for coming out. Our next event will be October 28th. We'll be announcing it to all you later. October 28th, by the way, is my 54th birthday. So I expect you all to come out and bring friends. We'll make a big birthday party out of it, okay?